It's time for another paint party. I did a pour earlier today and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I scraped it and I started all fresh. I did film the previous pour, but I'm not going to include that in this video. It would make it way too long, and I'm trying to excuse me, I'm trying to keep from having so many long videos. I know most people don't really want to watch long ones. So we have a 12-inch by 16-inch canvas. It's on top of a cutting board that is on top of a spinning table, and we've got that inside of a kiddie pool. That's my setup for when I'm going to spin my pieces. The colors will be provided in the description the way I typically do, and let's get started. We're going to be pouring into black. That's what you can probably tell, that's what I did earlier, and that is what I prefer when I do open cut pours. That's what we're doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a puddle of black here for us to pour into, and then I'll be adding to that as we go. Cup, okay. Now we're going to set our little cup. It's just a little Dixie cup that's had the top cut out of it, or the bottom actually, which is now going to be used as the top, but it's been cut out, and we'll pour into that. Okay. I'm using a whole different color palette than what I did earlier today. I liked the color palette, but I ended up using most of those colors up, and I don't feel like remixing all those, and some of them were custom colors. And several of these are actually custom colors as well. I used in a previous pour. I'm going to pick up the cup a little bit and try and get some movement of the paint out from under the cup. It doesn't, a lot of times you won't see the paint popping up immediately. As you can see, we're starting to get some paint popping up now. put some more black around. Dropped a little bit of blue there. I'm going to go ahead and just scrape that off there with my finger. It's not going to hurt nothing. Not seeing any of the blue hardly popping up yet. I don't want to drag my cup too much this time. See how it kind of blurs the colors, and you have to be careful. That's what happens when you drag your cup. And that happened in the last pour, and I did it too much, and it caused me to not like the effect. And that's ultimately what caused me to decide to scrape it. It had way too much of that drag in it. I prefer this very solid color cells to any dragging or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not too fond of it. A blurred effect I don't like too well. So we're going to have to get some movement of this, because ultimately the cup does have to come off of the canvas, and if you just pick it up, it leaves these colors in those rounded cells, and that doesn't look good either. So there does have to be a little bit of dragging if you don't want to just pick it up and leave those round colors like that. I don't like that either. I've done that before, and I wasn't real thrilled with that in my piece either. So you got to decide which is the worst for you. You know, the dragging. It's in my opinion, it's learning how to do the drag so that it's provides the kind of effect that you want, that you can be happy with. It takes a little bit of luck, a little bit of calculation. I keep dripping. When you get drips, it will be solid color like that, and that just, you know, doesn't look at anything like your cells. I mean, we're already getting cells that have multiple colors in them, which is super cool. Super cool. I'm liking that. Really liking that. We're getting some cool cells coming up. quite a bit of metallics in this piece, so that's gonna make it very pretty once it's dry. There's a lot more paint on this canvas than what it looks like. It looks like we've only got, you know, enough paint to cover this much of our canvas, but that's really not true. There's still a lot of paint that's in underneath of this cup. And when we do the spin, it's going to spread this paint out. Since I'm starting to get paint going over the side here, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to pour any more paint. And it's time to come up with our exit plan for the cup. I'm probably going to take it off to this side because we've already got stuff coming off to that side. So what I typically do is I will turn it like this in order to cause the colors not to be solid circles like that. Okay, and now we're gonna give it a spin. I guess we could give it a torch, though it really doesn't need it, but I see some bubbles there, so with this kind of pour, you don't really typically need to torch it because you've got cells before you even, I mean, cells upon cells. There's no need for trying to get cells. You've got plenty of them. This is pretty interesting looking. Go back the other way. Now see what I mean? There was plenty of paint on that canvas. I'm going to touch along the sides where it's dry. There's so that the paint will continue to flow on all parts of the sides. It's coming down on the sides, but there always is little areas that are dry, and you want to go ahead and touch those pieces, those little areas, so that the paint will go ahead and flow and cover all areas completely. I just use my finger to just dab along, touch the paint that's by the dry part, and with this, I've got this cutting board below that also has some paint on it, that if I need a little extra paint, I can get it from down there. I'm really liking this one so far. I think this is going to be a keeper. We are not done with it quite yet, though. Still need to do some more spinning. Still a lot of paint still on this canvas. I'm not going to spin it much more. It opens up the cells the more you spin. And as long as you're still seeing paint dripping, that's telling you that there's still a lot of paint on there. That scooted on me that time. Color is not coming over on this corner. Your corners are the tricky areas always. If you can tell that I've got black on these two corners. Well, on that one too, there's still some black, and that's because those corners are just tricky about being dry and too dry for the paint to flow and over them. But I'm not going to let that stop me. Actually, I think I'm going to stop there. I'm kind of liking the way it is. It looks good. So the fact that there's black on the corners, it's just the very seam area, and I'm not going to worry about that. So I think it's, I like the effect, and I'll go ahead and get the camera down and show you all a close-up. That's really cool looking. This is going to look a lot different once it's dried, because the metallics will look different. That what looks yellow is actually gold. It's 24 karat gold, so that's going to be really shiny and awesome when it's dry. Got some really cool effects. Open cut pours are one of my very favorites. I just love them. And they look easy, but for it to turn out and really look good, not so easy. I've scraped many because I'm picky and I don't just go with whatever. That looks, we've had some blending of colors that has turned into a brown, but that's okay. It looks good. It's not a muddy looking. It's and it coincides with the other colors. It's harmonious with those colors, so it looks really good. I like it. I hope you guys like it too. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Sure would appreciate it if you'd leave a comment, some questions, suggestions. Share with your friends and family. If you aren't subscribed to me, to my channel already, please consider subscribing. I've really been trying to work at having, you know, get more of a following, but it's really hard. Certain channels get all the viewers, and the little guy like me, we're lucky to get but a few. So if you will share, that would really help. And thumbs up helps me to get YouTube to recommend my video to other people. So I sure would appreciate any help I can get. I'm going to sign off for today. I hope you guys will come and be a part of my next paint party. I'll see you then. Bye.